Hey, greetings, Internet. It's Lucy the cat and the amazing Flec. She wanted to be mentioned first for at least just one video. I ended up going to sleep pretty late last night working on some video editings and trying to tweak things just right. I had some minor bandwidth issues when it came to uploading and downloading the videos to and from various devices. But that all got resolved by 4 in the morning and I immediately fell asleep right afterwards from exhaustion working a 16-hour day. As a result, I ended up waking up around noon today and immediately began studying for the TEAS exam. If you're just tuning in, the TEAS exam is an exam that I need to take in order to qualify for the Occupational Therapist Assistant program this fall. And it has to be taken within the next 3 days. It costs $80, and if I don't do good enough, I have to wait until next year anyway. Before I got real into doing some practice tests, I ended up answering some messages from friends and getting some feedbacks from various friends who had to take the TEAS exam themselves. And it looks like you're going to need more than just a couple days of practice in order to prepare for this exam in the right way. So I decided that I should just admit defeat and roll with the punches, take my manager's advice, put on a documentary about the inevitable collapse of fiat currency, and took a nice snuggly nap with my favorite creature, Lucy the cat. A couple hours later, I woke back up and I felt a little defeated about the whole decision-making process and that I won't be able to apply for the program until next fall of 2022. But at the same time, I think I took some comfort knowing that there was a little less pressure on me to cram for this exam and for packing way too much perhaps into my fall season this year with going back to school full-time for a new career. You guys haven't seen anything yet. This has just more or less been a documentation of my progress as I develop various skills necessary to create the quality content that I want to put out in the future. Down the pipeline, we have book reviews, we have circus and flow art lessons. I'll even do maybe some instructionals on the basics of guitar. You can almost definitely count on me doing some spoofs of some popular shows we might have seen in the 90s. Pretty exciting stuff. A long-term hope of mine is to make a talk show where I can have guests that I find interesting. I've met many very, very interesting people throughout the course of my life, and it'd be really neat in order to share them with people on this channel, as well as the various topics that myself and whoever I might invite on the show find interesting. Could be a really fun thing to watch. But you know what they say, it's all talk, no show until you see the show, so I gotta get to work and make all these things happen, because they're not gonna happen on their own. And they also say the proof's in the pudding. You gotta try the pudding to know how good it is. They also say that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. They also say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But as far as cliche sayings go, I was never the brightest crayon in the shed or the sharpest light bulb in the toolbox. So I'll reserve all that information for a later date. You just gotta subscribe to find out what's gonna happen down the pipeline if you haven't already. And I have an exciting announcement to make today. If you've been following this channel, you'll know that every Sunday I release a circus and flow arts tutorial video, and I think I've finally decided that this Sunday I will teach, finally, the basics, the very, very basics of contact juggling. What you're seeing right here is an example of contact juggling, and we call this the butterfly or the windshield wiper. It's a basic maneuver of just rolling it between the two fingers, or sometimes three, but I prefer teaching the two fingers here, the peace sign fingers. And this is the basic maneuver where you roll a ball between those two fingers back and forth over the tips and between the two fingers, the pointer finger and the middle finger. And I would like to show people this Sunday how easy it is to get started and how they can get started with various round objects you can find around your own home. So stay tuned and subscribe if you're interested in learning how to do that. This is fun. Well, I think that's just about all the time we have for today. Thanks very much for stopping by, everybody. From Lucy the cat, my manager, and from myself, the amazing Flec, we both like to remind you once again to keep safe, be well, stay humble,